all the latest news, rumors, trailers, and fandom. And don't forget to check out some of our recent episodes. We have our 2025 box office draft, which, we did declare a winner from last year, but, things are still going. Mufasa's still cooking. So, you never know what happens. I'm only down by, when we did the episode, I was down by 70 million, and Mufasa was in the theaters for already 2 months, over 2 months. So I was like, okay, like, it's over. And even Sonic since then has made about $20 million. And then Mufasa's made $50 million, or $45 million, leaving me down by 5 million, which is pretty crazy. So we'll see. I'm wondering, because I looked at Rohirrim, and that's done. It's out of the theaters, so it's not making any more money. And then
Yeah,
Gladiator,
what would it make? It made 20 total.
right,
We would have get an extra $2,000 in there, like.
right. Well,
Yeah.
Gladiator 2 only has made 500K. So I'm wondering. I mean, that was November.
Wow.
It was a month earlier, so I guess that makes sense too. But
Yeah.
so we'll
it's
see
still
how
pretty
that
weak.
ends up finishing. You never know.
I
But
might have to relinquish my title, bro.
we have,
This
to
is
we have to redo the draft and everything. No, I'm kidding.
well, we rolled numbers on that one, but
Yeah.
that's yeah, we might have to have a ceremony here. Man, that's
Yeah.
gonna be embarrassing.
An asterisk. And also our City Awards, our third annual City Awards came out at the end of last month. A great wrap up of 2024. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Why So City as Pod on Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. Always posting fresh content. Check JD out on TikTok Live. He's gonna be popping up more often. And now let's get into the news. Let's start off with some Star Wars. We have an Andor Season 2 trailer. So Dave, what did you think about that?
Very interesting. It was unlike most trailers you see out there for a lot. So the first thing I noticed was, wow, that's a lot of paragraphs about how good season 1 was. Like, it was just in the first 30 seconds, just slapped 4 or 5 quotes that filled up the entire screen about how good the first season was, which I agreed with all of them. I haven't seen that before. Usually you see a one-liner here and there, like, outstanding, breathtaking. This was like season 1 was an incredible masterpiece, like going off about how good it was.
Forget about the Acolyte.
Yeah, so that was interesting. But other than that, it was different too. It was different than Star Wars trailers because it kind of had like a rock and roll upbeat score going to the trailer that we don't typically see. It wasn't like an epic. It was more like a
Action movie.
things are going, yeah, just action packed, things are going down type thing. But I'm excited. I think it looks solid. There was a lot of cool clips in it. I'm very curious to see where we're going with stuff. The release schedule too, we're getting 3 episodes every week, which is wild. I don't think I've ever seen that either. Yeah, so
that must be
I'm
for the time
excited.
jumps.
Right, yeah. So every time we get the next 3 episodes, it's a different era, or a year, whatever, how many years we're jumping in each part. But yeah, I'm excited because season 1 was great, but it seems like he's not just rinse and repeating. Like, I feel like we're gonna get a lot of cool, unique stuff coming out of this thing. So I'm really interested.
And even if each episode's like from 30 to 45 minutes, when you watch it each week, it's going to be like a movie. So it'll be like, an hour 40, hour 30, maybe the last one's 2 hours long. And so you're getting 4 Andor movies. And I hope it's just as good as the first season. I think it's going to. It's going to expand a lot with obviously the action. Krennic's coming in. Saw Gerrera's coming back. Maybe we'll get a little Vader. You never know. I could see it just in the background.
You never know. You never know. Well, yeah, I guess they got sick of hearing us complain about how we don't get Star Wars movies, so they just decided to drop 4 for us in the form of Andor Season 2. There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a scroll.
Never know. And this comes out April 22nd, pretty sure.
Okay. Less than 2 months away.
Yeah, I think it comes out right when Daredevil finishes. Because isn't Daredevil 12 episodes?
Yes, and I believe we get 2 episodes on the opening week.
Or I think it lines up to where it's like right when Daredevil ends, Andor starts, which is cool.
Okay. Yeah, I was poking into that. April 15th is the last Daredevil, so right after that, we'll get Andor the week after. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Ooh,
Disney
unless
Plus
you're in the UK.
Oh
Sorry.
no. What's
Well,
the
no,
UK for it?
they're just weirdly a day behind. They get March 5th for their opening, and we got March 4th. I don't know if that's a time zone thing or what.
Weird.
Sorry, Andy. I don't know. You let us know if you're out there.
And we have some more exciting news, depending on how you feel about Star Wars recently, that Kathleen Kennedy is reportedly retiring at the end of 2025.
Oh, sorry. I I thought we weren't live on YouTube for a second there, so I kind of had a mini freak out, and then I saw Andy was in the chat.
Oh,
So I kind
hey.
of got totally distracted while you were talking there. But it is great to see you, Andy.
Hell yeah,
And
let's
he liked
go.
the Andor trailer. Nice to see all the characters. The music was ass and ruined it a bit. He
Yeah.
said, which is what I was saying. It wasn't your typical score for a Star Wars trailer. But yeah, Kathleen Kennedy. Let's keep it rolling with the good news. I mean, we've joked about this for years, and we'll see if this is real. We've heard reports come out like this for years too. We've heard Kathleen Kennedy may be doing it in a couple of years in like 2021, and so who knows? I'll wait to see what the story is, but I can't help but feel a shred of hope,
Right.
if that happens. But
Me
it's what we've been asking for.
Exactly. And they don't know who is going to take her place yet. I don't know. People say Dave Filoni, but I feel like Dave Filoni is good where he's at. You don't want him getting too involved with the business side and the money side of things. Let him just be the head of creative and pick someone else as president.
I don't know that I want to see that happen. As much as I like a lot of the projects he's done, I don't know. I don't know if I see that being the answer, but
Right. And can he do the movie stuff too? We need to see Mandalorian Grogu first before we
Yeah.
know, like, can he do the Star Wars movie?
we'll see.
We'll see. But yes, Star Wars on the up and up.
Yeah, hey, we're back maybe.
Yes. Next we're going to go to DCU with some updates from James Gunn and Peter Safran. So it's kind of skim through this thread here, and if there's anything that excites you to start talking about it. So we have Superman and Peacemaker Season 2 are in deep post-production. And now obviously Superman comes out in July, Peacemaker in August.
Ooh.
Supergirl is halfway through film production, and that releases June 26, 2026, so a year after Superman. Lanterns has officially begun production. It will aim to premiere in early 2026. And he confirms that no project will get a green light unless he and Safran are satisfied with the completed screenplay. It's hard enough to get making a good movie with a good script. It's almost impossible to make a movie with a script that you're writing on the run. So, I like it.
All right. It's all good. I mean, not major, but yeah, it's good to hear. Good to hear things are rolling.
Exactly. A brief update on the Batman Part 2 and a possible Season 2 of Penguin. Matt Reeves has yet to turn in a full script. So, here we go. But what we have read so far is incredibly encouraging. So it's not like they don't like what he's doing. I mean, maybe he's just struggling on finishing it. And then when it comes to Penguin, we don't know. There are a lot of moving pieces. Probably most important, Colin himself. So it seems like if they write a good story and Colin is down, he'll probably come back.
I could see him, not wanting to do that again and getting everything that he wanted to get out of it from season 1, and maybe another Batman movie appearance. I could see that happening, so I wouldn't be like mind blown. I'd be bummed, but I could see that happening. But man, the Batman 2 thing is just obnoxious at this point. I
know.
God, I've been waiting for that. I've been so hyped on that. I love the first one, and it just every news drop we get is just something about it being pushed back and pushed back. It's the new Ray movie. It's the new I don't know what's going on over there with Matt Reeves, but a little frustrating.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out 2025 originally, right? So it should have been on this year's box office draft for an October release.
Yep.
Now it's 2027.
20 October of 2027. 2.5 years out, and apparently we still don't have a script. So yeah.
But Batman Brave and the Bold remains in active development. Gunn and Safran confirmed that Matt Reeves' universe exists in its own timeline, and Pattinson will not be reprising his role for this film. So I did talk about that before, just to make it clear. There's a possibility that the DCU version will turn up before his debut. Gunn said he wouldn't rule anything out. He could show up in something else, but the actor doesn't exist yet. So they haven't really figured out how they're going to debut him, but The Brave and the Bold is coming.
Yeah. All right. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I got nothing on that one.
Right, not much.
Hope to hear something more.
Dynamic Duo is currently in pre-production. The animated film about Dick Grayson and Jason Todd in the early days as Robin. It kind of provides a perfect on-ramp for the family audiences into the world of Gotham. So it might not be like an R-rated animated series, which kind of disappointing, but we did get that. So there's like a family show, but it's still DC. I feel like they'll lean towards people who are actually coming to watch this.
It's just a weird two characters to pick to bring families into DC. Like, you're picking Jason Todd to be one of the characters you want to bring young families into the DC universe. Maybe a Nightwing I can understand more so. He's more of a hopeful, positive character, leader. But Red Hood, he's kind of a murderer. But yeah, I don't know. I think we voiced our kind of disappointment once we realized it was animated and possibly puppetry as well. So we'll see. You know, I like animated. We'll see what they do.
So there's a lot of stuff on this thread, but we have a Blue Beetle animated series. There is a My Adventures with Green Lantern. I feel like that looks like it's animated as well.
Yeah, it sounds like a kid show.
DC Superpowers, Starfire. We have a Teen Titans is in active development. Okay. Nightwing, Cyborg, the aforementioned Starfire.
Wait, did you say My Adventures with Green Lantern?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, so they already did that show with Jack Quaid, the voice, My Adventures with Superman, that's on Max right now.
Okay.
So apparently they're doing a little animated series with the different heroes. And
the Deathstroke Bane project is true. It is in the works at DC Studios with Matthew Orton.
Okay.
Booster Gold project moves forward. JD, you probably know about Booster Gold. You know about Booster Gold?
Yeah, dude from the future. He's kind of a wisecracking, cocky, somewhat of a hero. I could totally see Glenn Powell playing him or something like that, but
yeah, interesting.
Or Chris Pratt could totally play him if James Gunn wanted to bring him over to the DC universe. That's one of the characters that Chris Pratt could easily play.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing has been stuck in limbo. JD really missed this. I feel like this. I put this on here just for JD, but hopefully he listens to this. Swamp Thing has been stuck in limbo, while James Mangold has been focused on a biopic, A Complete Unknown. Okay. That movie. I think this is next. Anything else?
Bob Dylan?
Is that what that is?
Yeah, I thought that already came out.
Okay, well,
yeah,
probably just like all the red carpet and going to the events and shit.
Okay. Yeah, that's Timothée. Yeah, Timothée Chalamet.
But Amanda Waller is apparently in it, and she said Waller is going down a bumpy road, struggling to land the right script. So we'll see.
Interesting.
And then The Authority has been moved to the back burner. It's a very, very big movie. If you're going to do Authority properly, and some story elements perhaps that are in Superman and some other films that we fast track step a little bit on The Authority. So they're trying to wait a little bit, tell a story first, and then get the script for that.
So yeah, JD's definitely got the most knowledge on all of this, but The Authority specifically, and I feel like if I could speak for him, he would say that he'd be in favor of that decision, taking their time to make sure they get this right, because it is an odd kind of step away from the main DC characters they've worked with in the past. This is a totally new group. So
Guardians.
Yeah, exactly. So I have no attachment to it. I don't really know their backstory, but
and they're kind of cosmic, right? Or space.
I think so. In a way, I think they're kind of just like an alternate universe superheroes too, that are kind of more aggressive than our Justice League. A little bit more down and dirty. Oh yeah. But don't mark my words on all that stuff. there might be some more cosmic characters in there. JD, are you out there? JD?
JD, look that up. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Lord of the Rings with the Rings of Power season 3. We got a little post about what's gonna happen.
What do we got?
Excuse me. Jumping forward several years from the events of season 2, season 3 takes place at the height of the war of the elves and Sauron, as the Dark Lord seeks to craft the one ring that will give him the edge he needs to win the war and conquer all Middle-earth at last. I like that. I like a little time jump. Let's get into it, because I feel like they're still doing 5 seasons, so I feel like the last season has to be that, that final battle against Sauron. Maybe 4 is his rise with the ring and what he does with it. So I like what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm curious what several is going to wind up being. Several is a very vague term as far as how many years we're jumping forward, and a lot of stuff is going to happen between what. Yeah, that and everything we just saw happen there. Yeah, in Lord of the Rings terms, it could be 3 years, it could be 450 years. Who knows what several years is in Middle Earth terms. So, what the hell does that mean? First off, second off, yeah, a lot of stuff could be happening from the events we just saw there. So to me, that I have no idea what this means now. Like, I have no idea where we're jumping to here. And part of me almost thought, like, are we jumping through time because they're worried they're not going to get that 5th season? And so they're trying to cover more ground to get to some juicy stuff that maybe they had planned for season 4 initially. And now they're like, oh, we might not get a season 4 or 5. Maybe we should drop the hammer now. Let's jump to that point of this.
The one ring to rule them all.
Yeah. We're just jumping straight into the prologue. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. I think it sucks that its future's up in the air. I get it because obviously it's not 100% well received. But for me, who has really enjoyed it, and us as a whole on the podcast, it's a bummer just thinking like it's not a for sure thing. They're gonna get the chance to tell the full story they have here. So we'll see. I'm looking to get some more info out of it, but
I hope they get to tell the story they wanted to in the beginning. I mean, I would take 4 seasons if they want to do that. That still works with me, but yeah. Don't speed it up too much.
Right. Yeah. We'll see.
And then we have House of the Dragon season 3. This will be filming from March to October, starting very soon. Okay. James Norton has been cast as Ormond Hightower, and the actors have the scripts for at least episodes 1 through 6.
I have no idea who that is, but
Jamie, look that up. And it begins with the Battle of the Gullet, which is obviously where I can't remember everyone's name now. Valarian, is that his name? Not Valarian. He is a Valarian. Yeah. Corlys
Valerian.
Yeah.
I know. It's all gone. Gotta reel it back into the brain.
It's a sea battle with the dragons flying over the top. And
a ton of dragons, right?
Yeah. And some crazy shit happens apparently. I don't remember. So yeah. Can't wait for that. And it's 8 episodes once again, so we're not cutting it down to 6. And this is coming out in 2026. Can't wait for that.
Wow, dude. Battle of the Gullet right off the bat. That's going to be a nice thing to jump into. Whew. Yeah, that one got me more excited than the Lord of the Rings news. So we'll see. Yeah. Got another battle. I wonder if they'll drop at the same time for a 3rd season in a row.
Oh, God. They like to do that, don't they?
They do. I enjoy it.
HBO confirms that they're developing another Game of Thrones spin-off focused on the Targaryens. So they're going back to that well. It was previously reported that Aegon's Conquest series is in the works. This is via Deadline. So I feel like the Aegon's Conquest would be better as a movie. I feel like that just needs to be one badass, maybe 2.5-hour movie. And then when it comes to this another one, I don't think they're talking about Aegon's Conquest. I think you could do so many stories. What would
yeah.
I mean, just off the top, the Baelor the Blessed stuff is cool with the creating of the Sept, and because, well, I don't want to get spoilers, so I won't say anymore.
I would say Maegor the Cruel. I don't really want to watch the stuff that happened when Maegor the Cruel was during his era. That's gonna be some really gruesome stuff. I don't think I want to watch that, so I'm gonna skip on that one. I would
Blackfire.
love. Yes, absolutely. Blackfire Rebellion. That's probably that and Aegon's Conquest are probably the top two for me because in the Blackfire we get to go to the character that I was just about to say, which is I'd love to see the Blood Raven fleshed out.
Mm.
I'd love to see his path to Hand of the King, his path to being, I think he was Lord Commander of the Night's Watch at one point, right before he went beyond the wall and never came back and turned into the Three-Eyed Raven. I mean, the dude has a crazy story.
Well,
Um,
Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
yeah, he's in it. He's in those books briefly, so I'm thinking we're gonna get him.
What is he at
And
in that at that time? Who is
he is, I think he's, if he's
like
not the Hand
brother
of the
of the
King,
king?
he's very close. Yeah,
Right.
at this point, I think he is the Hand of the King at this time, actually. So
Okay.
that's gonna be really cool to see.
Okay.
Um, the other thing with that was, oh no, you've gone too far.
Sorry, I threw you off.
No, it was just about just talking about if they did the Blackfire Rebellion stuff too, they could still touch on stuff during that era because I think Bloodraven still spills over into the Blackfire Rebellion.
He lives for a while.
Yeah, he's around a minute, but you're right. He's definitely in during A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So that's just a character I've ever since I first read about him in the Fire and Blood book. I was just one of my most intriguing characters in the whole Game of Thrones universe.
Right. Yeah, I can't wait. I love all my Game of Thrones content these days, so keep it coming.
Yes, sir.
When's the winner? Anyone?
Yeah, we're never getting it.
Well, they're talking about how there's a Elden Ring. They want to make an Elden Ring movie, but George R. R. Martin says he's too busy right now to deal with that. Yeah, like,
Oh,
oh,
is he
you
too
are
busy?
you? What are you doing now? Huh? Not writing a book.
Doing more fan cons and not writing books? I'm sorry, George. You've made some great works, but you're pissing me off.
Right. John Bernthal. We're moving on to another topic. John Bernthal is co-writing a Punisher special, so this will be like a Werewolf by Night kind of thing. What do you think about this? So obviously he's gonna be in Daredevil Born Again, and this will probably be
Yes.
after the events of that, or it could be an origin story. That's what I think it would be. You need a MCU Punisher, but if it's the same character from Netflix, though, huh?
Yeah, they kind of already did that in the
That's
Netflix
true.
series because he had 2 seasons of his own already in Netflix. By the way, shout out to Romez Guide. He's in the chat. He just asked if we had talked about Punisher yet, so we're
Wow.
jumping right into it now. Dude, I'm so excited. Like he nailed this. Like honestly, I don't think it's a stretch to say John Bernthal fits the role of Punisher just as well as Hugh Jackman does of Wolverine, just as well as Robert Downey Jr. does for Tony Stark. Like he just lands the Punisher. It's so cool, hearing the stories when he first got the role and when he was prepping, he was going to comic book stores in New York and the guys recognized him and he was checking out all these Punisher comics to like study and they had stopped him and like took a bunch out of his power like, nope, you're not reading this, you're not reading this, you're not reading this, you're reading this, you better read this, do not screw this up. Like so he came in prepared, like he takes it seriously and he just nails the role. So I loved him in Daredevil season 2. He really made that season. I really enjoyed season 1 of The Punisher. Season 2 was okay. They dropped the ball on the main villain. There was still some good stuff, but I just love watching John Bernthal play the Punisher. So I'm stoked. I don't know if it's a special presentation or a movie or what they're
Special.
doing.
So
Special-
I'm imagining it's like the
Special
Werewolf by Night,
presentation.
where it's somewhere around an hour and it drops on Disney
Okay.
Plus.
Yeah, or if we just want to bridge the gap between Daredevil Born Again and Punisher season 2, what do you? Because at the end of Punisher season 2, it's not a big spoiler, but
Does that happen after Daredevil? When does that?
Yeah, both seasons of the Punisher happen after Daredevil, so
Okay.
he obviously doesn't die in season 2 once you finish that.
I imagine.
Andy, get him.
I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
But the last scene of Punisher season 2 is him revealing the Punisher logo and just unloading on a group of gang members. It's a very generic scene. Like, it didn't mean anything to the story at all. But it was just kind of like Frank's the Punisher full on when season 2 ended. So it could be showing what he's... I don't know. Regardless, I'm stoked. I know Andy in the chat. Yep, we got 4 words in all caps from him. Super excited for the Punisher special as well. He'll be joining us on the season 2 coverage. Nothing but great news here for me, though. I'm stoked on it.
Oh yeah. And apparently a Sentry spinoff is in the works, according to the creator, which you just found out today. So I can't really talk too much about this until I see who and what he is in Thunderbolts. You know, I feel like it's too early. I mean, must have killed it though, if this is true.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. And it's weird because it's the creator of Sentry in the comics, not like the writer of Thunderbolts or anything like that, who is signed on with Marvel Studios for a project. So apparently they are going to be leaning into this character a bit. And there's something, we're about to do the Captain America episode here, and there's the part about that and the adamantium coming from the Celestials there. I have a theory regarding Sentry that I was going to drop in that episode. So if you'd like a connection from this topic right here, stay tuned in the next episode, and you'll see why I think that it would make sense for the Sentry to get its own special. Okay. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Damn it, I hit the mic.
Word from our sponsors.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, just a couple more topics here. This is not really... What? What did Andy say?
Andy in the chat says, my daughter will become an adult before Love finishes season 2 of Daredevil.
Wow. All right, then. Okay. Andy's bringing the fire this morning in the UK.
Yeah, across the pond there.
So this isn't really fandom, but I thought we'd talk about it. Dwayne Johnson will lead in a Martin Scorsese movie, which I never thought I'd hear those two names in the same sentence. And it also stars, of course, Leonardo DiCaprio and Emily Blunt. And it's described as The Departed meets Goodfellas. And it follows an aspiring mob boss fighting for control of the Hawaiian Islands underworld. Is he still going?
What? Where did this report come from? First off, can I
Deadline.
ask? Deadline. All right, so it's legit.
Yeah.
And it said he's the lead.
Yeah. Well, him and Leo, obviously.
Okay, so
and
we got The Rock.
He's gonna be the Hawaiian crime boss, obviously.
Well, of course, because there has to be a jungle for him to be in the movie.
Yes,
so,
or a skyscraper.
Of course, we've got to go to Hawaii. I'm sure we will find ourselves in a skyscraper in Hawaii. I don't know. What the hell am I supposed to think about that?
Like, it's so random, right?
Obviously, I trust Scorsese, and he's obviously got a plan, but if he's... I don't know, bro. I don't know what to expect from this. I can't take that seriously.
Right? Because The Rock just plays The Rock in every movie, you know?
I've
like,
never...
Does he have that range?
Dude, I've been seeing clips on YouTube about a show he did. I think it's called Little Rock. And the whole show is it's set in 2028 and he's running for president. And it's the agent from Ant-Man who tries to learn the card tricks from Scott, and he's like blown away by how he's doing the sleight of hand card tricks. He's interviewing The Rock on a tour bus on his way to be president, and he's just narrating his childhood and his like entire WWE career. And I guess he's just totally rewriting everything, like just the biggest ego project possible. He's being interviewed the entire show. It's just the most Rock thing ever. So I can't, my brain can't comprehend what Scorsese has planned, but I guess we'll see. I'll imagine I'll watch it. But,
yeah.
You know, why? I don't know.
Yeah. Pretty funny, though. All right, last thing. This is not really a news topic. I thought we'd talk about it. We've been kind of confused about the post-Endgame timeline, right? About how everything kind of lines up in order. Have you been feeling that same way?
I mean, who knows?
But I was on Disney Plus the other day, and it says the Disney Plus MCU timeline. So I was like, okay, I went through this, and after Endgame, so obviously we're going to start in Phase 4, but Black Widow is Phase 3 era. Obviously, that was the whole flashback before she died.
Phase 3. Oh,
Black
timeline. Yeah.
So the first thing of Phase 4 is Loki, and it has both seasons on there. So I guess it's kind of just on its own. And then we have WandaVision. That makes sense. I think most of these are in release order, but there are a few that you'll notice are switched around. So Wanda, Shang-Chi, which was the first movie in Phase 4, and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier, And then we have Spider-Man Far From Home, which is kind of weird.
Well,
And
it was after the blip
yeah, right.
and after they all came back too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Eternals, and then No Way Home. So Far From Home, Eternals, No Way Home, like right after each other.
All of this makes sense so far, except I feel like WandaVision should be before Loki. But anyway.
Right. And then Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness happens right after that. So Doctor Strange has been fucking up to some shit lately. Right after No Way Home, he gets into that stuff with Wanda.
Lecturing Peter.
Right.
Dream walking in a corpse into another multiverse. But
Yeah,
all right.
And then we have Hawkeye and Moon Knight.
Huh.
And then it's Wakanda Forever. And then that's the end of Phase 4. Then we get into Phase 5. And it's Echo, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel are the first three things. They all cram those in the beginning.
3 bangers in a row. All
Yep.
right.
And then we have Thor, Love and Thunder, another banger.
4 bangers in a row. Good God. What a start.
And then they have
Tell
Werewolf
me
by
Quantumania
Night.
is next. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it is. Werewolf by Night and Guardians Holiday Special. And then it's Quantumania. So Phase 5, not very great. We have Guardians 3, Secret Invasion, and then the Marvels, Deadpool, and Agatha. So it's kind of interesting to
Agatha.
see how the shows and the movies kind of line up with each other. Even though it's been all over the place, there is some semblance of a future.
Yeah, we're going to have to rewatch all 38 of them and
Oh
find
my
out
God.
what we know.
Dude,
So
they
how many
went-
total?
Oh, they went way
What are
too
we-
crazy in Phase 4.
What are we on movie count? Like 37 now?
6?
36?
35.
35?
Don't quote me.
Feel like it's a simple thing, Google, and you have AI. Like how many MCU movies total, and you just can't give me it. Over 30. That's not the answer. I need an actual
Over
35. Okay, yeah.
Somewhere over 30.
So we got 35 films, and we got whatever 12 series. So yeah, let's go watch 47 projects, and maybe the timeline will make more sense.
Yeah, don't do it. All right.
Oh, sorry, real quick. Speaking of Love and Thunder, my wife has to watch it because I went and watched it in theaters without her and didn't like it, so I didn't rewatch it since the theaters. And she realized she hadn't watched it and wanted to watch, a lighthearted, kind of funny MCU movie, so we threw it
There you go.
on. And I was curious because I was like, I wonder maybe she'll enjoy it, just because I had high expectations for it, and maybe if you go in with none, maybe it's just an entertaining, fun film. We got about 19 minutes in, and she said the exact words, "You want to watch a different MCU movie?" So we ended up watching Civil War. So just to say, it's pretty much confirmed. Love and Thunder is just not a very good movie. In case you were wondering.
Sad day. But Captain America, which stay tuned if you are here on YouTube, and if not, check out the podcast feed. This might be coming out after Cap. You might be listening to these in reverse order. Hey, thank you for listening to Cap. We're finishing our week in Geek now.
And
Edit
we
that
don't
out.
even know.
Edit that out whichever way. I'm just kidding. So thank you for joining us, and we will be here next time on Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast.
Not bad. 7:48.
There we go.
Yeah, we can knock this out here.
We're done by 8:30.
Gotta switch the old live here.